the D's the trauma, embalming fluid and lace. Inhale fumes from the stove. I chose to take the wrong move and look up. What defines my name?
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Sideline head coach John Harbaugh, his team fired up and ready for this one. On the other side, Sean McDermott, now in his 9th season as the head man in Buffalo. Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen. It is for real. Season begins here. Off we go on Sunday Night Football. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. So the Ravens will come out, and they are led by the man who's won the MVP twice and was the runner-up a season ago. Hard to believe it is year 8 for Lamar Jackson as the Ravens quarterback.
Mike, isn't there just something different about week 1 of the NFL season? I mean, after months of anticipation, debate, speculation, it all gets settled on the field. New coaches, new teams, rookies playing their first time. Man, it's just an exciting time of year, and I'm pumped to be calling it alongside you.
Just trying to avoid the rush there. He's hit as he threw in the pass is incomplete. Quickly, a look at the key inactives in this one. Let's look, some big losses to begin this regular season. Second and 10.
Yo.
From the gun, Jackson. He'll get it into the hands of Zay Flowers. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. It's 3rd and 4.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
From the shotgun, here's Jackson. There's a short one caught by Andrews. First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a first down.
And the Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
And they'll take this down inside the 35. Give them 15 more on that one. They are on the move. It's a first down.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground, and tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around. So continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage, mix in the runs with the pass, and if they can continue to generate these big explosive runs, I don't think they need to go away from it.
Open man is Tylan Wallace. And he's going to be out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, inside the 20. Ball down to the 16-yard line. And it's 1st and 10.
16 yards. First down, Ravens.
A give right up the middle to Henry. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal, trying to finish off this drive with a touchdown.
That's good for
A pickup of 10, and it's going to set up first and goal. Could we see the first touchdown of the new season? It's first and goal. Now, Jackson. That's hauled in at the 2. To the goal line and in. Rashad Bateman. Touchdown, Baltimore.
It is certainly an ideal way to start a season, Mike. You get the ball first, you come out, you look sharp, you're in and out of the huddle, you're super efficient. Not only do you take the ball all the way down the field, but you come away with 6. And I know they sure hope that this is a sign of things to come, not only for this offense today, but as the rest of this season unfolds.
Tyler Luke now for the extra point. He knocks it through, and the Ravens have their first lead of the new year. They're up 7-0 here in the season opener.
Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. On the return, here comes White. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Bills offense are heading out, and they are led by the MVP of the National Football League, 29-year-old quarterback Josh Allen in the prime of his career.
Mike, as I think back to opening day over my years of playing in the NFL, it didn't matter if I was a rookie or going into my 14th season. I think every player goes into that game with just a little bit of extra nerves, thinking about new season, new opportunity. Can I still do this at a high level? And man, you get through that first game and it feels like you can finally take a deep breath and let the season unfold. There's going to be a lot of nerves in this one here today, but the team that settles down the fastest and just gets back.
The pressure, too much, and he goes down.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Now Allen facing third and long. Oh, got him again the second time with a sack on this opening drive.
And it's this pass rush. They've made their presence felt here in the early going. That's 2 sacks now for them on this opening drive. And you have to imagine, Mike, there's going to be more sacks to come if this offensive line doesn't clean things up.
So the drive stalls out, and here's the Aussie, Mitch Wishnowsky, to punt. That's Tylan Wallace back to return. And he's going to lose yardage on this return. Tried to retreat, but is covered up. So on come the Ravens. And Greg, what a story again last year. 12-5, 13-4 the year before that. Regular season, they have been as good as almost anyone in the NFL. But it's the story if you're living in the AFC. Get over that hump, whether it's Buffalo or Kansas City. It's hard to get to the big game on this side of the draw.
Oh, there's no question. And I think if you're Baltimore and you're Buffalo and you look around, you say, man, we should have a couple Super Bowl titles. If we were living in a non-Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid era, maybe teams would look at us a little bit different than they do, but they just need to continue to stay the course. Lamar Jackson, one of the best players, regardless of position, in the entire league, multiple-time MVP winner, so they have a Super Bowl roster. Let's not make no mistake about it. They need to just continue to hold serve in the regular season, continue to play for division titles, get as many home playoff games as possible, so when the money's on the line and trips the Super Bowl on the line, they need these games to come through Baltimore.
And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. They'll come up here, first and 10.
A gain of 15. And the Ravens first down.
They'll run. It's Henry. He'll get in behind his blockers, get forward for a pickup of 3. Cole Bishop up to make the play.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Second down and 6 now from the 26. Now Jackson. That's caught right side. It's Hopkins. And he takes it down to the 15-yard line.
Gain of 10 yards. That's another Baltimore first down.
On the handoff, it's Henry. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4.
Taken down at the 11-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Here's 2nd and 6. Jackson looking to throw. Quick throw here is complete. And they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be 1st and goal.
First down.
Nothing a quarterback loves more, Mike, than being able to pick up a first down without being forced to push the ball downfield and force it past the line to gain. He settles for the underneath check down. He's confident that his receiver is going to pick.
And he barrels his way into the end zone.
Touchdown.
Derrick Henry. Touchdown, Ravens.
Well, I think these guys are ready for week 1 to get started. I mean, we see teams kind of limp their way into the regular season, and they don't find their form until a couple weeks in, but they didn't play a ton in the preseason, but that's 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, and let's all say, what the heck does the preseason even mean?
On is Luke to add the extra point. The kick is good. And the Ravens will extend their first quarter lead. It's now 14-0. Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. We'll go ahead and just seed the touchback here. This ball over the back line. It'll come out to the 35. So, Greg, here are the Bills. What a year last year. 13-4, beat the Broncos and the Ravens in the playoffs, but once again ran into Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. Anything that we can say is that one thing to get them to the big game this time?
Well, I mean, we'd probably start with they need Patrick Mahomes to retire. And, you know, but in all seriousness, Mike, I think when you look at Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, it's one of those things where they just happen to exist in a generationally great team in the Kansas City Chiefs, and one of the greatest players we've seen in the last 25 years at quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. So they just need, as hard as it is, they just need to continue to chip away. Just continue to go. They can't make Kansas City the boogeyman, because all of a sudden now that starts to get into your head. Continue to win the division, continue to get home playoff games, and if they keep knocking at the door, eventually they're going to get over that hump, because Josh Allen and this roster, they are
And this drive is over before it can start. It's swallowed up to force a 4th down.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front, because right now their pass protection is breaking down and this quarterback's paying the price for it.
Here's Mitch Wisnowski now, and he's on to punt for the 2nd time in this opening quarter. Wallace now on the return, and to be taken down with the 1st down, as time will run out on this opening quarter. So 1 quarter in the books on our first Sunday night telecast of the year. It's the Ravens out front. and EA Sports NFL Sunday returns after this. Raven football, quarter number 2 begins as they are set to start the drive with 1st and 10. Jackson now, flush to his right. Off he goes. And he's going to be out of bounds following a gain of about 5 on 1st down. From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd down and 5. This is Henry. And he's going to have a 1st down. Good run down inside the 45-yard line.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen. And not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2. But it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor. And when you can generate those big explosive plays on the ground, man, it makes such a big difference for the offense.
And he can't hang on through the contact. Incomplete. Good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was around. I think it'll bring up 2nd down. On the ground, here's Henry. And he'll take this to about the 38-yard line. The safety, Jordan Poyer, up to make the stop.
It's a gain of
3rd and 6.
3rd and 6.
Here's Jackson. Flush to his right. He manages to get the throw away and completes it. And they're going to get this all the way down inside the 5. A big play there. Jackson to Flowers. 35 yards.
And goal at the 3-yard line.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone. And this is where you have to finish drives.
This defense backed up, but they bring the fire there. Stop him before he can get past the 3-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Bills' 3-yard line.
A little closer. Here's 2nd and goal. Henry. And this is going to be a big loss. He kept retreating, looking for an escape hatch. Found nothing. And they get him down well behind the line.
The idea here on 2nd down is in the event you're unable to score, at least put yourself in a 3rd and manageable goal-to-go situation. But now after taking a loss, it really changes their approach here. And I think on 3rd and goal now, they got to put this ball in the air.
Taking off, he'll try to get there.
What a nice play defensively. It's always a bit of a challenge. How long do I stay in coverage defending my zone or my man? Or how fast do I come up and pursue a scrambling quarterback? They did a nice job rallying to the ball late. They're able to bring him down to force 4th down.
4th down. Jackson. He'll buy time left. And this is incomplete. They don't go for the field goal. Wind up trying to throw for the touchdown. They get nothing out of it on 4th and goal. They'll throw on 1st down with Allen. He's up to the 20. Now he's loose at the 40. And they will bring this into the red zone. Big connection inside the 20. A big play there, about as big as you can get. That is an even 80-yard play.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
They really showed off their connection on that pitch and catch, Mike, and just really good ball placement and really good separation downfield. And when those two things align, it's just really challenging for a defender to stay with them and take that play away.
We'll try again here. Second and 10.
Brings up second and 10 at the Ravens 17-yard line.
From the gun, it's Allen. Oh, looking end zone, but it is out of the reach of the receiver and incomplete. Third and 10.
Incomplete. Nate Wiggins on the cover.
From the gun, Josh Allen. A short throw caught by Kincaid. And the Bills going to be set up with first and goal. Pass play moves them down to the 1.
16 yards.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and
that is caught in the middle of the end zone. Khalil Shakir. Touchdown, Buffalo. For Josh Allen, the reigning MVP of the NFL. First touchdown pass of this 2025 season.
it seems to me they were kind of holding this play call for this exact situation, Mike. First and goal, down here near the goal line, and they had this one worked up all week. Simple pitch and catch, and it works to perfection.
Prater, extra point is good. And the Bills are on the board. It's now 14-7.
Bills 7.
So now, Prater, after the touchdown, is out to kick it away. Justice Hill to return. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will take over. Derrick Henry heading out along with the rest of this Ravens offense. Greg, when you step back and look at this AFC North, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, their rivalry now really for a couple of decades has in so many ways defined this division, and they set the tone for everything that happens when you are in an AFC North game.
Yeah, and you talk about divisions having identities, they have their culture. Really at the top, Baltimore and Pittsburgh kind of want to play a similar style game, strong on defense, great run game. Obviously, Baltimore adds the extra element with Lamar Jackson. To me, the fascinating team, though, is what kind of jump can we expect, Mike, from the Cincinnati Bengals?
I agree with you, because if you think about the toughness and the physicality, Cincinnati can put up points in an electrifying fashion. And even the 1 year Cleveland was up near the top of the division, they did that. As well, but you come back to that defensive side of the ball, and when I look at these teams, Greg, I just think, man, these are defenses that can stop anybody in the league, and that's where you've got to invest in this division.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so fascinating about Cincinnati is they're kind of the outlier. They're the pass-heavy, they're the spread attack, they've got unbelievable weapons on the outside. Obviously, Joe Burrow, quarterback. But it was the defense, and you said it, their inability to be as good on the defensive side of the ball as Baltimore, as Pittsburgh, traditionally, but especially last year, is really what allowed them to be the odd man looking in when they missed the playoffs. So I think if Cincinnati can just improve a little bit on defense, they have the offense to now enter and make it a three-man race in the AFC North.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 11. And they'll move the chains with another first down.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest, and while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
Down the sideline, inside the 25. And he's going to be out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, inside the 20. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
They'll try to throw here with Jackson. A throw, left side, caught by Andrews. And he'll take this down to the 2-yard line, but they are in business. 1st and goal coming up. 2 minutes remain here in this first half. So we reach 2-minute warning here in the opener. And this offense in the red zone, if you will. Only fitting to check in with Scott Hansen and find out what's coming up at halftime. Scott.
I see what you did there, Mike. Thank you. And coming up at the half, the debut of the brand new halftime show. Scores and highlights from around the NFL. That's all coming up.
Derrick Henry. Touchdown, Baltimore. What a start to the year. His 2nd touchdown in this opening half. What a standout performance early on in this one. That his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game.
And some backs, Mike, they just have a sense of finding the end zone and being able to finish off these runs. That's exactly what this guy has been able to do today, and we're just getting started.
Luke now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Ravens will take a 21-7 lead.
Bill 7.
Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. On the return, here comes White. Now an opening past the 30. And he'll be out of bounds on the return, and the drive will begin there. The Bills offense and their wide receiver getting ready to get back to work. Greg, this AFC East, a division that really has been dominated by the Bills. The 5 straight division titles. It's hard to see who can knock them off that perch right now.
Yeah, and I think until someone decides that that's going to change, I think you just have to assume that Buffalo remains the king of the East. And I think when you look at the bottom of the division with the Jets and New England, they're clearly in a rebuild. Young quarterbacks, new coaching staffs, trying to kind of get themselves out of the bottom of the division. Miami seems to me, I don't know if they're ready to compete necessarily with Buffalo directly, but Miami is a playoff caliber roster, a playoff caliber team. They've showed it in years past. So if anybody's ready to compete, I think it's Miami. I just don't know, Mike, if they are ready top to bottom over the length of the season to get enough wins to keep pace with a team as good as Buffalo.
And 2 new coaches at the bottom of the standings last year, the Jets and the Patriots. And Greg, both guys who played for a long time in the league and bring a certain amount of toughness to the top of the organizations.
Oh, absolutely, and it was very clear exactly what New York and New England were looking for. They wanted culture setters, right? It wasn't about getting the fancy play caller. It wasn't about the X's and O's. They needed to establish an identity and a culture of excellence and of winning. So no question, Mike, there was a very clear mission, a clear path to landing on Vrabel and Aaron Glenn, and they think they have their guy for the long term.
And he will get into the end zone. James Cook, touchdown, Bills. Good drive. They kept the ball. Greg, they moved it effectively down the field and finish it off on the ground for the touchdown.
So often, Mike, we see teams work on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off with 6.
Bills 14.
Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. Here comes Hill on the return. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there. Derrick Henry heading out along with the rest of this Ravens offense. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground with Mitchell. And that is going nowhere in a hurry. Finally taken down well behind the line.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
Well, that helps. It's going to be a much more manageable third down, getting some good yardage on that second down play. And now a timeout. 7 seconds left in this first half.
Well, that scramble is ultimately going to end up short of the first down, Mike, but it's going to help quite a bit. That's a great job by the quarterback. Just taking what the defense gives you, get downfield, pick up good yardage.
Third and short, Jackson. Going up top and looking for Flowers.
So I don't hate this call, Mike. You think it's third and short, everyone's at or near the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of green grass downfield in the passing game. Traditionally, though, I'm a little more comfortable with this call when you've made the decision that even if it falls incomplete, you're going for it on fourth down. So I don't love third and short bomb punt. I do love third and short, okay, you fail, I'm going to go for it on fourth down.
And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Today is the day, the debut of our new halftime show. Buckle up, everyone. I think you're going to like it. Our tour around the NFL starts now at legendary Lambeau Field. It's the Packers at home to take on the Lions in the NFC North. And this is Christian Watson. He was absolutely electric. This, one of 3 touchdown grabs for him in the game. From there, it's off to SoFi Stadium. We're looking on the Rams as they host the Houston Texans. And it's the third-year signal caller from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud. He connects. It's a 16-yard touchdown. The Texans come away with the victory on the road in the season opener. One more to show you, and it's out in Seattle, the Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And it's the man picked up from Washington just back in August, Brian Robinson. All he needs is a crease, and he finds it. That's a 7-yard rushing touchdown. With that, a look at what's already transpired and what's still to come in a busy first week of the new season. Meanwhile, in our game, both teams have been able to move the ball effectively. It might be a question of which defense can make a stand in the second half. As we send you back out to the broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Third quarter set to commence. And we're back underway here on EA Sports. On the return, here comes White. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the... Yard line. The Bills offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. You know, Greg, you start to think about, okay, who are the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that have a chance this year? Look, it happens every year. We just have to identify who they are. Who are a couple top of mind for you as we start 2025 here?
You know, as I start in the AFC, I think the Cincinnati Bengals, and you got to think the way their season ended last year, they rattle off 5 wins straight, really on the back of Joe Burrow. We could have made the argument if they're a playoff team that Joe Burrow was the best player in the league. I mean, he was incredible. Most weeks, Mike, he single-handedly carried that offense. Now, new defensive coordinator in Al Golden coming from the college ranks. Can he just make that defense in Cincinnati average? Because if they just play a little bit better with that high-profile offense, I think they're a team. They might not win the division with Baltimore, but they're going to be close and maybe at least get one of those wild card spots.
Why don't you flip it over? Who are the guys you're watching in the NFC?
You know, I think Dallas is going to find themselves, just the fact that I know the division is difficult. Obviously, Philadelphia remains really strong. Does Washington kind of regress a little bit back now?
In trouble, and he's going to be taken down. A first-time Pro Bowler a year ago, it is Kyle Van Noy working his way in to register his first sack of the new season. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. From the gun, throw here for Allen. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a 3rd down.
And 17.
Out of the gun, here's Allen. And that is incomplete. Contact occurred just as the ball was arriving. There are no flags. It's 4th down.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way. And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. Derrick Henry heading out along with the rest of this Ravens offense. You know, Greg, early on, it's always new faces in different places. Off-season movement, what caught your eye?
I think there's so many good ones, right? You talk about Stephon Diggs. He ends up in New England, and Cooper Kupp now. He's moving on to Seattle from the Rams. But I think it's the guy the Rams signed to replace him, Devontae Adams. I know he's not the youngest anymore, but watching him play in New York with Aaron Rodgers last year with the Jets, he can still run. He can still make every catch. He can still go up and compete at the high point. I think you put Devontae Adams with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, in that offense run by Sean McVay. I think that's a sneaky, maybe not a sneaky because he's a really household name, but I think that's a great signing.
And always interesting from the offseason, the quarterback movement and unique ties. Some of the biggest names were or now are Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, and now the guy that is going to line up behind center for Seattle, Mike, is Sam Darnold. And, of course, we all saw that incredible season he had last year in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson and that really dynamic Vikings offense. So now he goes to Seattle. I think he's going to have an inspired Cooper Kupp. He was let go from the Rams. If he's healthy, he's a big weapon. Jackson Smith and Jigba. He has some pieces in that puzzle that he can push the ball downfield to. So I'm excited to see Sam. That's what everyone thought he was going to be coming out of college when he was a high draft pick of the New York Jets.
On 3rd down, Jackson moving to his right. He'll get rid of it and complete it. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line. They get the conversion on 3rd down. It was a gain of 27. Here's 1st and 10.
And a Raven first down.
They'll run it with Henry. He's taken down just shy of the 10. Give them 17 more, and they are on a roll. Another first down.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
We'll go again here with Henry. And he's into the end zone yet again. Derrick Henry. Touchdown, Ravens. What a start to the season. It's a 3-touchdown week number 1.
You just don't see these kind of holes too often at this NFL level, Mike. And you can see once he got the ball, the clear line to the end zone. He doesn't get touched, and an unfortunate defensive breakdown here ends up costing him 6 points.
On is Luke to add the extra point. It's up and through. And the Ravens will extend this third quarter lead.
Bills 17.
Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. On the return, here comes White. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Bills offense about ready to take over once more. You know, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going forward on fourth down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, we got the ball at the 20. It wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to go for more touchdowns, kick less field goals, because the ensuing kickoff is giving my opponent the ball in much more favorable territory.
You know, the other rule that is adjusted are overtimes in the regular season will mirror playoff overtime, each team getting the ball. I am so happy, Greg, because it just felt so incomplete when a team got to overtime, but then their offense, which may be the best part of the team, never got on the field.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. And you hear everyone saying, "Oh, well, just get a stop." Well, you know, it's that legendary game between Mahomes and Josh Allen where neither team stopped anyone. It was just an offensive touchdown festival. So you won a coin toss and you get the ball. Well, the other team's defense hadn't gotten a stop the whole game. If Josh Allen got the ball first, he probably would have scored on a walk-off. So I love the idea of both teams getting the ball. If a game is good enough to go to over. Time. Let's finish it. We don't need to be in a rush. There's no curfew. Let's let the guys finish it on the field. A lot more similar to how the regular game goes.
And he's going to have to eat this one. And down he goes.
A 3-yard loss brings up 3rd and 13.
So backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Operating out of the gun, here comes Allen. Here's a shot toward the end zone. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback. They'll take over at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's position. Being able to get himself to a spot, to get his hands on the ball, and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that touchdown, and instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back in the field.
They converge on him quickly. He'll only get a couple. The safety, Jordan Poyer, up to make the stop. From the 23, here's second down and 7.
At the 23-yard line.
Back to throw, Jackson. Forced to his right. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. And that changes things. Out of bounds inside the 40.
Another great throw, and that's been the story as you check out these numbers. I mean, he has done everything this team has asked of him and more.
First down, Ravens.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. They'll work straight ahead with Henry.
And he has been a handful to deal with throughout this entire contest, Mike. And they came into the game saying, we want to impose our will on the defense, and that's exactly what they've been able to do.
They're going to go right back to Henry. And he'll have enough to move the chains. He'll take this forward for about 3 yards. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Jackson out to his right. He's going to run it. And they're in business now. He is out of bounds inside the 10.
It's a gain of 18.
He is dangerous when a play breaks down. A pickup of 18. They've got it at the 8. 1st down and goal. Here's a run to the 5-yard line.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
Jackson now on 2nd down. He's got it at the 3. And he'll take it on in. Tylan Wallace. Touchdown, Baltimore. Luke now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Ravens are able to extend the lead.
Bills 17. Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. On the return, here comes White. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
On 1st down, Allen. Now here's another ball that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to get the ball to start the 2nd quarter as time expires here in the 1st. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. And Sunday Night Primetime continues after this. From the 39. Here's a 1st and 10. Fourth quarter underway, and here's Henry. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
It's a gain of 14
A pickup of 14 on that one. Good for a Raven 1st down.
A gain of 14. 1st down, Baltimore.
In the shotgun, here's Jackson. He's going to keep it himself. And he'll be out of bounds down around the 40.
I can tell you from firsthand, Mike, seeing it unfold, runs like this demoralize any defense. I mean, he's been doing it pretty much since the beginning of the game, and they have yet to find an answer for keeping him under wraps. He has run wild from that quarterback position.
And he will score again. Derrick Henry, touchdown Ravens. What a night he's having. That's 4 touchdowns in this game alone. And that touchdown probably, Greg, ends any small hopes of a comeback on the other side.
Yeah, and I think those chances, Mike, were small to begin with, but with that last score, I think this one is pretty much over.
The extra point is good, and the Ravens will open it up even further here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, Loop is back out to kick this one away. This one crushed. It's over the back line of the end zone. Touchback, and the ball's coming out to the 35. So now here comes the Buffalo offense heading back out onto the field. Well, Greg, this is going to take a lot of self-reflection here. You build up so much for the season opener. To struggle like this has got to be a tough field.
Yeah, we've never spoken to a team before their week 1 matchup where they didn't tell us this is the best training camp they've ever had, it's the best roster they've ever...
And he will take this into the end zone. What a run! Josh Allen, touchdown Buffalo. That's his 2nd touchdown tonight. Well, it's not going to be enough, but at least they find the end zone at the end of a hard week's work. At least it'll pay off with a touchdown, Greg.
Mike, you can just chalk this one up in the column of too little, too late. Give credit to this offense for not going down without a fight, but they're not going to have enough time to find themselves back in this point.
So now, Prater, after the touchdown, is out to kick it away. Tylan Wallace now on the return. Oh, he's got room past the 30. He'll wind up getting this all the way to the 45-yard line. The Ravens offense and receiver Zay Flowers heading back onto the field. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early. Boy, did that pay great dividends to this point. They'll start out on the ground with Henry. And the strength on display rattling through tacklers for a gain of 8 yards. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and a couple. From the gun, Jackson. Moving outside the pocket. Oh, he's got a man running with them. And they connect. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10. It's another big play in a game that's had its share. 39 yards.
Well, I think one thing's for sure, Mike. I don't think we're seeing an offense that is comfortable with this late lead. They're continuing to put pressure on the defense and say, hey, I don't care how much we're up by. We're going to continue to execute our passing game, and if there's opportunities downfield...
And they cannot contain him at all. He's into the end zone yet again. Derrick Henry, touchdown Ravens. He is having a performance to remember. That is 5 touchdowns for him in this one game. On is Luke to add the extra point. The kick is good, and the Ravens are going to extend their lead. touchdown. Loop is back out to kick this one away. On the return, here comes White. Good return here. Brings it up to the 33-yard line. The Bills offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. He'll step up and run this. And he'll work forward for about 4. It's 2nd down.
And these are body blows on any defense. This quarterback has the ability to make guys miss and do a lot of damage in the run game. And that's a nice pickup there.
Allen gonna give it to Cook. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
Man in motion is Coleman. Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. He will have the conversion and more. And he's going to have the Bills' 1st down. They come up with a big one there to keep the drive moving and then some.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard
On
line.
the handoff, this is Cook. And this tackle there, he pushes forward. It will give him 4 yards. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 32-yard line.
Man in motion is Coleman. On play action, here's Allen. And that's a 1st down. It will be a gain of 8.
It's a gain of 8. That's good for a Bills 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Looking to throw, it's Allen. Short pass taken in by Knox. And he'll be marked down at the 7. And it will set up 1st and goal.
That's another Bills 1st down. 1st and goal.
From the shotgun, it's Allen. The pressure gets there, and down he goes. And if Malachi starts, the rookie safety, drafted in the 1st round, gets in for the sack.
And anytime this offense gets themselves going in the right direction, it just seems like the pass rush finds a way to make a play of their own, and they have completely dominated this game up until this point. Like, I mean, it is no surprise they're playing with the lead as a result.
1st down was not very good. Here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, here is Allen. A throw there on 2nd down, going to be incomplete. Trying to find Ray Davis out of the backfield. Now they'll be looking at 3rd and goal. Allen to throw. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
They'll try and throw for it with Allen. That is incomplete. The defense coming up big in the red zone. It's a turnover on down. The Ravens offense and receiver Zay Flowers heading back onto the field. And they have done all you could ask for. Closing in on a road victory to start the campaign as they try to finish things off here in quarter number 4. Rolling right. He'll tuck it and take off. Man, he's out of bounds. They're going to mark him at the 35. A great job of knowing when to go. He gets 17 yards on that run and a 1st down. They'll run it on 1st down with Henry. And he's able to push through the tacklers to pick up 6.
Taken down.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
A give right up the middle to Henry. It's a gain of 10 yards. First down, Baltimore.